One of the biggest announcements, or one of the biggest slates, I should say, that excited me the most since we have been away is Scream Factory, Shout Select. And I'm going to start with Clue. Clue from Shout Select.
There's nothing wrong with Clue.
This is maybe not the biggest title on this list, but we're going to get to all of them. But I did want to start with Clue just because it is a personal favorite of mine, and I wanted to give this a personal shout out.
Don't you think you might spare us this humiliation?
And this one's coming out December 12th. 4K Ultra HD, one of my favorite comedies of all time. I've owned this DVD forever, but I've never upgraded to Blue. I've always just watched the DVD.
Was there a Blue release?
I think there was. Yep. But now that this is coming out in 4K in a collector's edition, no less.
Yeah, it is really cool.
It's pretty wild. Scream Factory has not put out what any features are coming with any of these yet. It's just here they are. You can pre-order them. Take a chance, which clearly I've done.
Me too.
And me.
Not me.
In the history of Clue, there's so many things that have been talked about over the years that could be included here that we just don't know what will or what won't be. The one thing that's, I think, a no-brainer, which is included as the only real thing on this DVD, this movie famously has 3 different endings, and when you went to see it in the theater way back when, they gave you a random one. But on the DVD, you can be surprised at what ending they give you, or you can watch all 3 in a row. If you're a Clue fan, tell me what your favorite ending was. The true one is my favorite by far. But apparently there was a 4th ending that got cut.
That's right.
Apparently it was cut, and I've read what the ending is. It's very more mean in tone than what the film is. There's plenty of scenes also in the original trailer that I have seen that are not in the movie. So there's got to be deleted scenes and so forth out there. The movie, Russ, you've seen Clue?
Yes.
What are your thoughts?
It's great.
Yeah?
It's a breezy movie. Jonathan Lynn is a cool little breezy comedy director.
You like the word breezy?
He's breezy.
He's breezy.
I mean,
He's
Clue
sleazy.
is breezy. My Cousin Vinny is breezy. You know what his films and Clue is like this to me? It's like staying home from school when you fake being sick, but you can't go anywhere, and it's on TV. It's comfort. It's a comfort movie.
Infinitely rewatchable.
And Leslie Ann Warren, I don't care. Growing up, I had a thing for her, Matt. Let's get real.
All I want to say about Clue, because maybe we'll get the opportunity to do a review of it when this comes out. I don't know. There's probably not a lot of interest in Clue. I'm sure a lot of you are like, get to Point Break already.
No.
Well, actually, yes.
This is the most quotable movie ever. I want to say to this day, I just watched this again, maybe even a couple of weeks ago with my son. This movie, every single time I watch it, there's maybe not at this point a brand new laugh, but I feel like there's always maybe a laugh that was under the ground a little bit that you didn't really hear the first time, or a reference or a weird offhand remark that all of a sudden you get now. It clicks. It's one of those movies that there's just a wit to it that I really feel like lends itself to just rewatching over and over and over again. I think it's brilliant.
Thank you.
And it comes from that era of great performers,
Totally.
Specifically in comedy. So not only are you watching, and this is what makes it rewatchable, you're not only laughing at the joke, you're laughing at the delivery of the joke. If I repeat that joke, it's not that funny. But if I watch Tim Curry saying it in Tim Curry's way, that's what we love, and you're revisiting, and that's the magic.
Just to wrap up Clue, I am excited to see what Shout Select is putting with this collector's edition. I will say there is an entire Clue documentary, making of documentary, that was released through a Vinegar Syndrome partner label that maybe would be cool to be included or something like it. Fun fact about Clue that I just found out. See, you're always learning about Clue. The guy that plays Mr. Body, Lee Ving, who is a famous musician of that era, which I don't really know him too well from that. I only know him from this movie. That wasn't even his voice the whole movie. He was dubbed.
It's a hoax. I suggest we all leave.
Michael McKean was given an interview and he was like, oh yeah, he was such a great guy to work with. He was so cool, but sometimes you just don't know about casting. Sometimes you just don't know what's going to click, what's not going to click. And when they started seeing it back, they were like, nah, we got to dub this guy's voice. Now, I'd love to know what he really sounds like.
I read in a similar article that he sounds like Tom Hardy in Dark Knight Rises. I hope we get that dub in this 4K release.
Unnecessary.
This gives you power over me?
So Clue, day one, Day one pre-order for me. If you do go to Shout Factory, you can get a poster, and it is that classic original art, which I love. It's like the schematic of the house with all the different characters on the front. It looks great. Love it. Clue, you're my favorite.
Rock and roll.
But next up, Russ, Point Break.
Hallelujah.
Point Break in 4K. We've covered Point Break. Do you remember when? You recommended it to the people. Remember when we were doing our famous recommendations?
Hell yeah, dude. Who doesn't want to see this in 4K?
I mean, you brought that up then at that point. That's why I'm saying this is like your moment to shine.
Dude, I mean, all the beautiful scenes of surfing, skydiving, Gary Busey looking for a dog. I mean, there's so many great things in this film to witness in 4K, Matt.
Why don't you astonish me, shitface?
Well, Russ, I've only ever owned this on DVD as well. Surprise. How about you?
I owned that, and I owned this Blu-ray. I'm along for the journey with Point Break. I'm going to keep buying this damn movie until Best Buy comes and kills me personally.
Now, Point Break, there's no insert, just a nice little...
It's beautiful.
Just the old disc in there.
It's great. A lot of love put into this one.
The shit they pull, huh?
Yeah.
This was what they called, Russ, the pure adrenaline edition. They had 8 deleted scenes. It's make or break retrospective featurette, ride the wave surfing featurette, some on-location shit. Here you go. This is what I had, and I've never had this on Blue, so now it's my time. Another collector's edition with no details.
Update.
Yeah, I'm not expecting Patrick Swayze to return.
Will we get Keanu to come back?
No.
Why would Keanu come back to this? I mean, he's a nice guy. I know him. I'd love Catherine Bigelow to come back or James Cameron to come back. I mean, they haven't for any of these other previous releases, and I don't understand why.
That would be a waste of time.
Point Break should be ridiculous when you hear it out loud or read it on paper, but goddamn, everything in this movie works. Even floating heads on the poster.
Keanu Reeves is wet, looking over his shoulder. Patrick Swayze is looking stoic. The steel art. Now, this is a Best Buy exclusive RIP, so you're going to want to get that as fast as you can.
It's real exclusive. God damn.
It got real exclusive real quick.
I'm going to miss Best Buy's audacity.
They do have some audacity.
With the Reservoir Dogs cover, with this Point Break, the graphic novel of Point Break, I suppose. I don't know what's going on here.
Did you pre-order this, Russ?
Hell yeah.
Okay, just checking. Could you still call it underrated action film?
Incredibly. Okay. Point Break is if Roadhouse made sense.
Roadhouse on the beach?
Success. No, that's what I'm saying. It's not that.
Oh, really?
I don't laugh at Point Break.
I feel like some people do. And
you can, but
I agree with you. I agree with you, but I feel like that is the position some people take on both of those movies.
If you're laughing at it, you're laughing at it because it's 1991 and it's surfing and it's all, but contextually within the film, it's there. It's logical. It all makes sense. It looks beautiful. Patrick Swayze swells.
He is swole. Patrick Swayze swole up.
That's all I'm going to say. Patrick Swayze swells.
Does a hobby horse have a wooden dick?
He made me swell.
Patrick Swayze sells lines of dialogue that sound ridiculous, but and at first I thought, all right, maybe I was just a kid watching this. It's not tragic if you die doing something you love, all that kind of shit.
To those dead souls inching along the freeways in their metal coffins, we show them that the human spirit is still alive.
The character of Bodhi is ridiculous, basically. What I'm saying is, this isn't Roadhouse, where that character is fucking ridiculous, and I'm laughing at that character. I'm not laughing at Bodhi. I'm sad at Bodhi's fate in this movie. You're not sad at anything that happens in Roadhouse.
When Red's hardware store burned down, I was sad.
See what I mean? And it has... Yeah, when a dude runs out in red footy pajamas, that's what I'm talking about. This is not Roadhouse. And it has one of the greatest chase sequences ever put on film.
It does.
Since The French Connection. That whole damn chase sequence where Johnny and Bodhi are running through houses, running through all those back streets in California. Dude, it's
cool.
Incredible.
Bodhi
literally picks up a dog and throws it at him in one part. Like, holy shit.
And it's a great pivotal scene as well because they realize who they are.
Yes, yes. Well, Gary Busey knew all along.
He
was studying the tan line on that one dude's ass, you remember?
It's in our face. Look at the tan line on this guy.
It has a cheese to it. I'll give you that. There is one
slice.
Exactly. Thank you. But Point Break doesn't get enough credit because it gets lumped in with the cheese when in fact it should get lumped in more with James Cameron type movies. He was an executive producer. He was fucking Catherine Bigelow for years before this. He had sex with Gary Busey too, Matt.
This stream has gone off the rails.
So yeah, I pre-ordered Point Break.
So you pre-ordered. We pre-ordered. We'll do a review. We love Point Break.
Real quick, I'm going to totally go back on everything I just said.
Oh, yeah.
Y'all
Rewind
are
the
right.
tapes.
Yo, you guys are right. Because I just remembered. You remember one scene where Tyler finds out who he really is, who Johnny Utah is?
Yeah.
And she's like pointing the gun at him and he wakes up.
Yeah.
Do you remember what Lori Petty says at the end of that scene?
Don't you have a soul?
Pre-order canceled.
No, pre-ordered two of them.
Two of them. Pre-ordered two of them.
Give me 2.
All right, so let's move on, for God's sake. We've talked about Point Break enough. Let's talk about one people are dying to know about Russ. Dying for. You ready for this? JFK.
Cocksucking f***it.
Have you seen JFK?
I have.
You have? I haven't seen it. This is Shout Select. Again, Shout Select 4K. The box is huge. And when I looked up what's actually in there, you're getting 3 full-length documentaries. Three,
Okay.
and a feature film, PT 109. Do you know who it stars as John F. Kennedy? Cliff Robertson.
Pre-ordered.
Wild Hearts Can't Be Broken. Cliff Robertson is playing JFK in this additional film that's in the JFK box set. Unconfirmed if he has the mullet. I haven't seen it.
You just blew my mind out of a car with the top down.
Are there fans for JFK out there? I have never even cared a moment to watch this.
Look at the cast. I bet you will after that.
Is it like Oppenheimer?
Dude, yes.
3 hours of talking?
Did you know Gary Oldman was in it?
No.
Did you know Joe Pesci is in it?
No.
Did you know Kevin Bacon was in it?
No.
Did you know Donald Sutherland was in
No.
it? Did you know Sissy Spacek was in it?
No.
You don't know shit cause you never been f***ed in the ass.
I knew that Kevin Costner was in it. That's it.
He plays District Attorney Jim Morrison.
And I like Kevin Costner. This
Notice
movie-
I didn't say his name.
It's difficult to accept this.
But a title I am personally excited about, Russ. Again, Scream Factory. The Ring. 4K. But not just The Ring 1. The Ring Collection.
Ooh.
So now you've pre-ordered it. So this is coming out December 12th from Scream Factory. First time on 4K. Now, if you remember, Russ, we covered a Paramount 20th anniversary steelbook of the original Ring.
I do remember that.
On Blu-ray.
Did you pick that up?
No chance in hell.
Good man.
I was waiting for the 4K, but now here you have finally the Ring in 4K, but you have to have the other ones with it. That is kind of dragging me down a little bit.
Yeah.
You are a bigger fan than I am of The Ring, but
Yes.
I know I've never even talked to you about your thoughts on the sequels, but I know you're a man of taste. So
Thank you.
I know you probably do not like. There was only one sequel, wasn't there?
2. The Ring, the original Ring, is the only one anyone could possibly want here. To bundle these together, it does kind of suck. I do have a feeling that it could be because maybe Paramount's holding on to the option to do something in a solo. I've seen sometimes where it's like, we could only put this out in 4K if we put them all together. Scream Factory had to do that same thing with Halloween. What was it, 6, 7, and 8 or something? They were not allowed to release them separately. I just wonder if we're ever going to get a Ring 4K solo, which is honestly what I would really want here.
Nice alliteration, huh?
You're fired.
Do you have any thoughts on the original Ring? I mean, I feel like it's a really awesome horror remake classic for sure.
I mean, I'd call it a classic of modern horror. But
Yeah.
For an American horror remake, yeah, it's good. It's probably the best American horror remake of a Japanese horror film, right?
You're right. This is excellent. Naomi Watts is awesome. Great imagery. It's haunting. The only thing that has ever bothered me about
The
it.
kid.
Yes.
I was going to say that.
Yes. And it
Matt,
still
you hate
bothers
children.
I do hate children, for God's sake. Oh, God. The actors. First of all, it's that cliche kid that is gloomy, knows what's going on, knows the ghost's there, knows what's happening, but doesn't really want to talk about it. Says, instead of mom, uses the mom's real name. It's like a whole, like, Rachel, you know, like it's like this whole thing. He's drawing the pictures. He knows what's going on, you know?
Just spit it out, kid.
I mean, you saw it the best in Sixth Sense. You saw it in Stir of Echoes. Kevin Bacon, his son could see sort of what was going on, and he was a little weird. This one just pissed me off straight up. Like, every time he's on screen, I hate it. It's definitely something that I did not pre-order here because I'm not going to buy all 3 of these in this box. Let me know down below. Did anyone else pick up this Ring collection? How many people have pre-ordered this?
You buying this?
Last but nearly not least, Russ, with maybe one honorable mention for the Scream Factory lineup that I want to cover, is Dead Zone.
The ice is gonna break!
The David Cronenberg, Christopher Walken masterpiece. And I've got my original Scream Factory Blu-ray right here. It's the collector's edition. It's got some new art, which I gotta say, I didn't really care for too much. This is what I really like. The original art. This is it.
Very basic.
This is the one. This is great.
It's all right.
We've talked about this a little bit, and I don't want to spend too much time. We mentioned before that this is a pretty decent King adaptation, but never really felt like a Cronenberg film to me. I don't know if it did to you. I always kind of forget this is David Cronenberg.
I do too. Yeah. And when I do think about that, I'd say it's probably my least favorite
of his
Cronenberg movie, but I'm open to rewatching it because, dude, I love Walken. Walken's a top 10 actor for me.
He rocks in this, and so does Sheen.
Maybe I got to rewatch it. I don't know if I should buy it on 4K to rewatch it, but
I mean, I'd be interested to see the difference. But I'm pretty set with my blue. I like how this movie kind of plays episodically. Yeah, it's almost like there's little like stories within the story because he kind of meets different people as he goes, and like as soon as he meets the next person, the other people are just gone.
You're right.
There's like a politician angle,
even though it's not. It feels like something.
Tom Skerritt and the serial killer element. He's like that kid's like tutor.
Yeah.
Tomorrow, you're gonna buy a cup of coffee.
Yeah?
Then you're gonna hail a cab.
Does the cab crash?
No. You're gonna leave the coffee in the cab.
Okay.
I wanted to give you the last word on this segment, Russ. Coming out, Russ, for you, December 26th on Blu-ray. Finally breaking out of the last Boy Scout 2-pack. It is Last Man Standing, starring Bruce Willis.
Might be a good time for you guys to give up.
I have my copy right here, Matt.
Russ, I got nothing. I just want you to tell the people why they should give Willis a chance here.
Well, let me explain it to you. This is my edition of Last Man Standing. I've never seen this fucking movie.
Yeah, well, we don't need any messages from jerks like you, all right?
It has Walken in it, too.
Does it?
Yeah.
Is he a gangster or something?
No idea. And it's probably a good movie. I'm not even trashing it. But Last Boy Scout, that's one of my favorite movies of all time since childhood. If you had to ask me what is a movie I can quote from beginning to end more than any other film in existence, it would be The Last Boy Scout. And yet here I am with my ridiculous action double feature Blu-ray.
So what you were hoping for was Last Boy Scout from Shout Select.
Yeah, they hit me with the Last Man Standing bullshit. I want The Last Boy Scout on 4K, god damn it. And I'm never gonna get it.
No, I don't think you are.
For anyone who has not seen Last Boy Scout, it is a celebration of toxic masculinity. And I say that with a big ass thumbs up for it. It is so over the top, sarcastic and cynical, and it's just taking the piss out of every buddy action cop while being one. It is the Scream of buddy action films, where it's mocking them while being one. Bruce Willis, every line he says is a goddamn roast.
Oh, you real cool for a guy about to take a bullet.
After fucking your wife, I'll take two.
To my point about its celebration of macho bullshit, there's a scene at the end of the movie, I guess the happy ending, and the happy ending is that Bruce Willis's character, Joe Allenback, his wife gets in line, you know, and his daughter calls him sir. And he's like, I like that.
I like that.
Throws the football. That's the happy ending.
Dog barks, credit rolls. That's awesome.
Happy ending, dude. Dude, Roger Ebert said that. I've never seen a more misogynistic mainstream film, but for what it's doing, it knocks it out the park.
Fuck you, Sarah. You're a lying bitch, and if the cops weren't here, I'd spit in your face.